If you're new to gardening and looking to impress your neighbors with your gardening skills, you might try adding a peony into your landscape. Now, peonies bloom these beautiful large flowers in springtime, and while they look like delicate plants, they're actually really tough perennials in our Oklahoma landscape. They are originally from China, however, they're well adapted to the US, being hardy from zones 3 to 7. Now, a lot of times when we think about hardiness, we think it's, maybe we're concerned about the winter months and the cold temperatures, but peonies actually need that chilling requirement during their dormancy in order to get them to come back out and rebloom. Now, there are a couple of different types of peonies to consider and kind of classification of peonies, if you will. But if you're wanting to plant one that's well adjusted, I would suggest looking at a Paeonia lactiflora. Those are some of the hardiest peonies that you can plant in your landscape, and they are a herbaceous type of peony. So they're going to get about 2.5 feet tall. And what that herbaceous implies is that basically they're going to have herbaceous growth that comes up each spring with these flower buds. And then they will last into the fall months, and then they will just die back to the ground. And then they'll resume next spring. Now, there's also, you may have heard of tree peonies, and tree peonies have a little bit more of a woody growth. So they are deciduous, so they are going to lose their leaves, but you're going to see some woody branching shrub growth that it will regrow from those shrub branches later in the spring also. However, this particular one next to me here is called a Itoh, which is basically a hybrid between the lactiflora and also the tree peony. So it has a little bit sturdier branches that are coming up. However, it is still herbaceous, but they're just a little bit sturdier, so you don't have to worry about staking them as much. You can see that they're covered with buds that are coming on, and usually they have one primary bud, and then they'll have about 3 secondary buds. Now, what's kind of contrary to a lot of times what we might think, it's that primary bud that's actually smaller. So that first flower bud that you get is going to be smaller, but those secondary buds, when they start blooming, they're going to be much larger. You can see they still stay smaller than a tree peony. A tree peony will get about 4 feet tall, whereas these Itoh peonies will get to be about 2.5 feet tall also. So it's going to be covered. It's just now starting. This particular one is called Smith Opus 2. Now, the flower of peonies can look different. You can get single flowers, you can get semi-double and even double flowers that just have numerous petals on them. They also come in a range of colors. So this particular one has it starts out as real rosy color, and it's got a deep burgundy down in the center of it. And then as it goes and ages a little bit more, you're going to see that it turns to kind of a blush pink. We've got one here that's a little past its prime, but you can see how it's really lightened up in color. So you're going to get a combination of colors on a single plant on this particular one. But some have yellow, cream, they even go into peaches, and then again like this rose colored as well. Now, as far as the environment to plant your peony, you want to make sure that you're planting it in nice moist soil that is well drained. It does like fertile soil, but they're pretty tolerant of our Oklahoma soils as long as they don't have wet feet. The other thing is they can handle full sun like anything. I think we all appreciate a little break from the full sun in August, so it could appreciate. Ours are planted right here on the edge of the trees, but I have seen them growing in full sun as well here in Oklahoma, so they can tolerate our Oklahoma summers just fine. Now, most peonies, you're going to get about 2.5 weeks of bloom time out of them, but in that period, you're going to get a lot of flowers. And as the plant matures, those flowers are going to get larger. So the more well-established they are, the larger your flowers. And some of them have a quite nice fragrance to them as well. You just want to make sure if you're cutting them and bring them in the house, check them for ants, because a lot of times ants can get on those flower buds too. But otherwise, it's a great addition to your landscape. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.